So I also worry about the camera and the usually where the Miles Morales Spider-Man avatar is. That's usually be my face, but since I'm on the other camera here in front, I didn't need that camera in the right hand corner. But thank you for joining me. This is a special live edition of the Silent Sports Video Blog. First time ever me going live with the sports blog. Thank you for watching, or if you watch later, or if somebody come in, we definitely can interact. Thank you so much for watching. I decided to go live tonight because it was easy for the video to just upload on the channel. I wanted to have to wait till maybe tomorrow. It'll probably be tomorrow when it uploads, and I'm gonna do my NFL picks and stuff, so I wanted to get everything on there. Then the time allowed, I don't have to worry about the time. I usually get 60 minutes to record normally. I do everything through my PlayStation 4, all my editing, all my me being on here now, and everything else through the PlayStation 4. I don't have an official laptop. I need to get all that stuff eventually, maybe, if my life has drastically changed between now and then. But I thank everybody for joining me tonight. I normally don't record at night at all. I usually do my during the day, and then it'll be up by at least the early afternoon. But I decided to go live. I said, why not? Well, like I said, not a lot to cover today. Just gonna go over the MLB awards. NL and AL MVP was handed out. Cy Young's was handed out. So I give my thoughts on that. NBA, a lot of NBA news, little drama in Houston. Russell Westbrook and maybe James Harden. It's not official that he went out, but there's been a lot of rumors about them might be moving him as well. But Westbrook definitely went out, and it's also been reported that they don't want to play together anymore. So one of them will be moved. And to see, like I said, the free agency I think start next week. The NBA draft is this Thursday, so that's an interesting development there. I'll talk a little bit about that tonight. And NFL Week 10, I look back on the big win for the Colts on Thursday night. That was a huge win for them to tie the Titans in the AFC South. That was huge. They both 6-3 now. So Titans lost their leverage. If they'd have won, they said they'd have been in full control. I'll touch on that game. And the big 5 games of the week, well, all the games of this week. And I got a little upset special for you. You probably can guess what game that is. I sort of teased it on Thursday, on which a blog I do, the preview of the Thursday night game. I teased that I had an upset. I think you can guess what game that is. A lot of important games this week in the NFL as well. A lot of division games, some games in the conference that might go a long way as well. So I'll give you all my picks for week 10, and give you a little Masters update. I look at the leaderboard, see who's on the lead. I didn't really check it in a while, but I'm guessing they done playing. The thing about the Masters being in November instead of April, what it normally is, the daylight saving time. So just like anywhere in the world, wherever you are, probably gets dark about 4 or 5 o'clock. Well, in America, because I don't think some countries don't even do daylight saving time. But even if you don't, the sun definitely go down a lot later. A lot earlier now, and it'd be, you can't play golf in the dark. So a lot of the rounds been cut up. So Tiger Woods was doing pretty well. So we'll check on. I'll give you a little update on that as well in tonight's blog. Close the baseball season. It was a short 60-game season, but wasn't no, it was a couple of teams that made the playoffs for the first time. The Chicago White Sox. They got some drama with Tony La Russa, which I want to touch on as well, that I didn't mention. Speaking of the White Sox, let's go ahead and start with Jose Abreu, young up and coming player. He won MVP in the American League. And the National League was almost a runaway by my man Freddie Freeman. Atlanta Braves. I got my Atlanta Braves hat on right now. I'm an Atlanta Braves fan. Like I said, since about 1994, 1993. Used to watch them on the Superstation on TBS in the 90s. I told this story 1,000 times. I'm from Baltimore, but the Orioles, they had their good season. They had put together like 2 or 3 good years, and then they had died off for a long time. And that's how it's been now for the Orioles. So I always been a Braves fan. I'm an Orioles fan as well. I'm not going to say I'm not an Orioles fan. I follow them. I root for them when they're doing well. Even if they're doing bad, I don't turn my back on them. But the Braves was the first team I ever rooted for. So with that being said, I was real happy that he won. Had a high average. I didn't know his average was 347. I think he hit about 16 home runs, had about 60, 70 RBIs. Like I said, these numbers are through 60 games. So, but still to hit 347 in a 60 game span is good. Or no matter what span you hit 367 or 347 on, that's good. But the backstory with Freddie Freeman, you know, he had COVID. It was really contemplated if he was even going to play this season, and the Braves made it all the way to the NLCS, which I was proud of them for. The Dodgers, they might have been the World Series champions for a good reason. They're a good team. They've been there on the doorstep for years. But I ain't gonna lie, I didn't think the Dodgers. I think I had the Braves coming out the National League. On my normal picks, and it was me being a little bit of a fan, but I just thought the Dodgers was trending down. I picked Colorado to win the National League West, so that was a miss, a big hit and miss, no pun intended. I missed that. That was completely wrong. I think the Rockies were in last place, but I was happy for Freddie Freeman that he won the National League MVP. Now the Cy Youngs also was tricky this year with 60 games. Trevor Bauer was the first Reds pitcher to ever win the Cy Young, so I guess I agree with that. I don't got no problem with that. AL Cy Young winner was Shane Bieber for the Cleveland Indians. He won the National League MVP. So that's where that's all the awards there. I had no problems with any of these. You could have picked, because it was a short season. A lot of people's numbers was pretty much pretty much the same. So you had to pretty much split. Did you win? I think winning mattered this much with these awards this year. The Reds made the playoffs for the first time in a while too. So since Cleveland did as well, and both Bauer and Bieber pitched pretty well. I think Bauer used to pitch for the Indians, I believe. I think he got traded to the Reds during the off season. Jose Abreu, he's a young and upcoming player. But Freddie Freeman, he beat out Mookie Betts. A lot of people that I talked to think Mookie Betts should have won the MVP, but I think it's because he done well in the playoffs. It's a different award from postseason to regular season. So, but me being a Braves fan, I was happy that Freddie Freeman won though. Now, Jose Abreu, like I said, you had a lot of guys in the AL you could have picked for MVP, but I think the writers was kind of shocked that the White Sox even made the playoffs, but it was an expanded playoffs this year. So now honestly, I think that's why both of those teams made. I think did the White Sox, who won the Central? I don't think they won the division, so I think they was one of the wild card teams. So but they didn't make it far. I think they was only in that first round. I think Cincinnati and the Braves beat the Reds, so I remember that. So it was the best of 3 series. But congratulations to all 4 of these guys. These awards, I think they get, once they announce, then once the next season starts, people don't I don't remember from year to year who wins the MVPs or the Cy Youngs, really. I mean, the top players that wins it multiple years, you remember that, but for the most part, for that year, well, personally, as a sports fan, as a baseball fan, it's hard for me to remember who wins it. I had to do the research and say, oh yeah, he won it last year, or this guy won it this year. So, but congratulations to all these guys. Me being a Braves fan, I'm glad Freddie Freeman won. Hopefully we can take the next step and win the World Series next year. The Dodgers ain't going nowhere. The National League is deep. Both leagues, it's gonna be interesting. how baseball season is next year. Now baseball ain't coming back no time soon. Like they definitely will come back to it. Well, spring training, well, if Corona keep going the way it's going, spring training might be canceled at all. They might not even try to do spring training. So hopefully things get better. But baseball definitely ain't gonna be back till the spring. So, but congratulations to these guys. I just want to point that out. Now the Tony La Russa situation. Speaking of the White Sox, he had a DUI. I think when it happened, it was in February of this year. So it was a long time ago. A lot of people didn't like the hire because he's an older, like I think he's about 75. And he's been around. Well, Tony La Russa is probably one of the best managers of all time. Like if you look at the St. Louis Cardinals, what they did for a long period of time, they won a World Series. Was it 06? Or did they lose? No, they lost it. Did they? Yeah, they beat. They won in 06. But I think they lost. No, they won. No, they won in 20. They beat the Rangers. What was it? 2012. That's when they won. I think they probably won in 06 too. Like I think they won too. But he wasn't the manager for the 2012 team. I think he already was out. But anyway, the situation with him, he had a DUI. So a lot of people thinking, well, the White Sox, they jumped the gun. They should have hired him. They ain't know. Well, it still ain't come out. Did they really know about this situation first? So why they hire him first? But this came out right after they hired him. It came out about, which I hate with the media. Like, as soon as somebody get hired or somebody's doing well, people pull out the bad stuff about him. Like, I can't stand that. Like just pull it out when it happened. I know somebody knew about it in February. They should have put this story out then. All of a sudden, this was under the rug for so long. Now, Corona probably got something with it too because you don't go to court. You probably go to court like months and months later because of Corona or whatever. But still, like for them to make this a big, honestly, like DUIs is serious. Like you don't drive drunk. Like I'm not saying this is a good thing at all. And he should be, if he's charged with whatever he's charged for, he should get punished for it. But to say that this links to the job, why the White Sox should have went through, but this is an age now, like I said, social media controls a lot of stuff, and I don't like that either. But personally, like I said, even with the hire, I had no problem with the hire. I just thought him being out the game so long, like it wasn't no other candidate. That's what a lot of people say. There's no other candidates with that. Tony La Russa for the Chicago White Sox, the manager. He had a DUI, and a lot of people don't like that he was hired. Even before that, like just because he was older, he probably don't the White Sox or whatever. I don't know how directly White Sox fans feel about it, but with this young team, I don't know why they fired the manager. Well, whoever was managing there in the first place, they did pretty well this year. So. I don't know. So that's why a lot of people had a problem with him being hired. But he's a great manager. Like in the past, he's been a great manager. So his credentials, he should be able to get any manager job that he wants. But as far as like him, maybe it was a couple of younger guys that had maybe he took an opportunity from. I think that's why people have a problem with that. Yeah, he had a DUI. But it happened back in February, but it just came out about a week ago, like right after he got hired, and I think that's to me, that's shaky to me. Like, why does he come out at least way before then, that he had a DUI? Then, I don't know if it's a tape. I know they said that when he was getting arrested or when he got pulled over, he was saying, oh, well, I'm a Hall of Fame, because he is a Hall of Fame manager. I was like, I'm a Hall of Fame. Like, he was basically trying to use his clout to get out the situation. So he acted sort of unaccordingly when it happened. But if you're drunk, of course that's not surprising to me that he said something like that. If you're drunk, you know what I'm saying? But, he's wrong. But I'm not saying, like, he's wrong, but, it's just not to me, it's just not obviously he didn't hurt nobody, because that, we wouldn't know that. But, you shouldn't drive drunk. But, for people to be coming at him like, well, now, strip him, take his job away. I don't know about that. Maybe the White Sox do. We'll see what they do. They might give it to what people going to, they might go with the how the wind's blowing, who's saying what, and they might let them go. But we'll see. I'd honestly, like, if he keeps his job, I'm alright with it. If that's what they want managing their team, he has the credentials. So if he keeps his job, I'm not going to have a major problem with it. Or loss, he don't get charged with nothing serious. So like I said, I don't think he hurt anybody. Not saying that it's right to drive drunk, because it's not. But I just hate when every time somebody get a job or kind of rise up a little bit, people want to just tear you down. I just hate that. So they should have been put this out there that maybe Chicago would have hired them, or maybe they knew about it and just didn't think it would be a big deal. So, and that's what we waiting on. Like, it's still not known that the White Sox knew that he had this charge or this issue before they hired him. So that's just a situation we keep an eye on. But we got a long way for the baseball season. So a lot of people say, well, they just not, like, because it is true. Well, this part is true. White Sox they made a statement or anything, so they might just hope it just died down and they keep it. They must really want the guy. So if that's what they want managing their team, then so be it. That's where I'm at with it. Like, but we'll see how that develops. But that's all the baseball news I got. I just wanted to touch on the awards, Cy Young and MVP in both leagues, and I wanted to touch on that situation because last week, like I said, my normal subscribers probably know my internet was messed up, so I didn't really touch on the Tony La Russa hiring that much last week. Now I just want to get into the NBA. The NBA draft is the November 18th, which is Wednesday of next week. It's just weird. Like, it's weird. Like, the NBA draft usually is in June, rather the finals, is in October. So it's kind of like Corona made things a lot like just weird as a sports fan. Like, things happening at certain times. But as far as the NBA draft, like, honestly, to be honest with you, like, me personally, like, I like college basketball, but I don't follow it a lot. But a lot of the guys now, they go overseas for a year and play to deck out that, you can't go straight to high school into the league anymore, of course. But I think that's probably going to get changed back eventually, because a lot of the young guys, what they are pretty much at 18 or 19, But Minnesota got the first pick. I think the Warriors have the second pick or the third pick. I know the Warriors are high. They talk about maybe they might trade that pick or they might keep it. But the consensus is, the LaMelo Ball, the young Ball brother, that's talented, he's supposed to go number one. But Minnesota already have the kid, D'Angelo Russell. So they have a lot of guards already. So and Minnesota made that mistake a couple of years ago, having a whole bunch of point guards on the team. So this could be a smoke screen. I don't know. Then you just take the best player. I think we have the number one pick. If you don't trade out of it, you take the best player no matter what the position it is. I believe in that. And then maybe you move some, like, if you already have somebody at the position, you just move them, trade them, or So we'll see what the Timberwolves do. Karl Anthony Towns. And like I said, D'Angelo Russell, that's a good 1-2 punch right there. You just need more talent around them. So we'll see what Minnesota does. That's going to be interesting next week to see. Like I said, the Warriors, is they going to trade down, get more picks, or they're going to trade their pick to maybe bring another guy in? They're going to be healthy with Steph and Clay coming back. Draymond Green will be motivated. Andrew Wiggins, he's a hit-miss player. Some people like him, some people don't. I think he's talented. I think he just need more oomph, need to be, what I mean by that, I think he needs to be more engaged. I think sometimes he sort of get his head in the clouds a little bit. I think if he played harder and used his talent, I think he could be a big piece. Or maybe they might move him. Like, there's a whole lot of rumors going on right now with the Warriors. But even if they just bring out the team they have right now, they're going to be right back in that top echelon of the Western Conference with Steph and Clay alone coming back, and Draymond doing what he do. Warriors to me still weakness is still like they need a big man somehow, some type of big man. So that's why they might keep they pick and maybe get a talented big man that's in the draft or something. But on the perimeter, they still Steph and Clay. They say Clay looked good. He come back from an injury from his torn ACL. So them two coming back. The Warriors gonna be right back up there. I mean, I still like the Lakers though. I still think the Lakers are the best team in the West. Even with the Warriors coming back, I think the Lakers still the best team in the West. They try to make a move. They try to get. There were rumors about them trying to get. Well, Chris Paul been in the rumor mill all week long, going to Phoenix. I like Phoenix too. I think Phoenix, if they do get Chris Paul, they'd be a playoff team for sure. Maybe still in that lower part of the Western Conference, but I think they still be able to. But the Western Conference is deep. Like I've been saying it every time I get a chance to talk about it. Like it's no chump team in the West. Like every team is talented, even down to Sacramento, New Orleans, Phoenix. I just mentioned like that bottom Memphis. Well, Memphis was a playoff team. Portland, Utah. I mean, every team has something to bring to the table. Denver in the bubble now. We'll see how Denver plays. I'm not saying like the bubble. You got to say the bubble did have an effect on how teams played, how they didn't. There was no crowd. Some people feed off the crowd. Some players do, some players don't. But Denver, to me, they changed my like Denver. I was like, whatever. I was like, y'all have. I mean, Jokic, you can say he's a superstar, but he's still a big man. Not really a score. But Jamal Murray. He changed my whole perspective of him. He's a star, man. If he takes what he did in the bubble and continue that to rise his game, Denver is a serious threat in the Western Conference now. Now the last couple of years, obviously, well they play well in the regular season, but they ain't gonna do nothing in the playoffs. But even during this year, they made it to the Western Conference Finals. And Jamal Murray, like I said, just when they needed him to take over the game, he did. And that's what I thought they was missing. Then Michael Porter Jr. Coming back. Well, this is really his third year, but this is the first time he played. If he improves, and he already showed some flashes, Denver is going to be an issue as well. And if they can add anybody, like if they can add something else, Denver is a team to look at as well. But I still like the Lakers. The Clippers, them hiring Tyronn Lue. A lot of people think he can fix the locker room issues. So that's basically what they said it was. It was more of a chemistry thing. But but I didn't pick the Clippers anyway because they didn't have no big men. I think that's the Lakers' advantage. Like everybody, the game today, you shooting your threes, you hitting shots from the outside, but you still need a big man to do the dirty work, get the rebounds. They had Howard, McGee, and Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis was, of course, the second scorer. But those three guys to protect the rim, that still matters in the NBA, regardless of how the game has changed. So that's why I always put like I said, everybody said the Clippers. I was like, no, I mean, they got Kawhi and Paul George, and I'm still a Paul George. I still like Paul George, but he looks bad. Like the perception of him right now, like he ain't nobody. Like he's just a choker. He's like all this stuff that came out about him. Like his respect right now in the league is kind of low. Like he's just another guy. Like that's how they treat him now. And I think he's talented. I think if he just like I said about Wiggins, you just gotta want it, man. Like you just don't see it in him. And he had his issues with depression, and I'm not a guy to judge on that because I deal with depression all the time. So that probably was real. And then being in that bubble, it was a different situation. So that's why. Can you really take what you saw in the bubble? Can they translate it to when days get back to normal? If they do, because this corona crap just disrupted everything, especially in the sports world. But I kind of got off topic because I was talking about the NBA draft. But I'm just saying the Western Conference is strong. The Eastern Conference is going to be stronger with Brooklyn. With Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, that's a little bit of a roll the dice thing because Kyrie and even Kevin Durant, they have their ways when they say they boys, but when they get on that court, maybe some things go wrong. Maybe they're class. It's a possibility. Like that's just a possibility they can sort of not be on the same page. So they're your wild card, but just talent alone, they're going to be there. The Giannis situation, that's going to get more interesting. Will he stay in Milwaukee? Will he leave? They trying to get Chris Paul as well. That was a rumor. And I think if they get Chris Paul, then yeah, that would set that whole team right, because he could put everybody in right position. Chris Middleton, they could have an easier time. Milwaukee would be a threat. Toronto Raptors, they might lose if Fred VanVleet, if they lose him, that'd be a big blow. But still, Kyle Lowry and Siakam, I still think they'd be a threat. The Pacers would be still somewhat of a threat. So yeah, the NBA season is going to be even more interesting than it was. It's a lot of talented teams out there, which is, you couldn't say that for years. It was always Cavaliers, Warriors every year. You knew them teams was coming out the conference. Now they have challengers. Well, now it's 3 or 4 teams, you could argue, can come out of both conferences. I can't wait till the season starts. Supposed to start December 22nd, of course. They already signed off and everything on that. So we'll see how that works. My next topic for the NBA, I want to get into the Rockets situation. Like, that's, of course, Daryl Morey, he moved on to Philadelphia. Mike D'Antoni, he's now on the staff of Brooklyn. I think that's kind of big. That's sort of an underrated move. He's just Steve Nash, he's a rookie coach for the Brooklyn Nets. But with D'Antoni, on the bench with him, I think that'll help Steve Nash go a long way. And D'Antoni, he's an underrated coach. He gets, he's like the modern day, if you want to throw an NFL coach in there, like Marty Schottenheimer or Buck Showalter in baseball. He just could never win the World Series or never could win the finals. But he, to look at today's game, he has his fingerprints all over. A lot of people play his style of basketball. So he's a great coach. So, and then he coached Steve Nash during those Phoenix years when he won back-to-back MVP. So I think that is a big thing for Brooklyn. That's why I believe in Brooklyn more now that they made that hire. But the Rockets thing, Westbrook coming out this week saying he want to trade. They hired a young coach on the Dallas staff. Somebody was under Rick Carlisle. I never heard of the guy before, but they say he's pretty, he's good for the job. Like I said, Daryl Morey's gone, so so Westbrook's like, well, what direction is y'all going in? He came out publicly saying he want to trade, which he never did his whole career. So to him to went out, and then like I said, it came out this week that they don't want to play with each other anymore, him and Harden. But the Harden trade rumor started. Serious Morey went to Philadelphia. They said they might try to get Harden to Philadelphia. And, definitely Ben Simmons will be involved in a trade. And I think that would be interesting for the Sixers for sure. Like, it's a no-brainer. James Harden, controlling the offense, and he can score. That's the knock on Simmons. He can't hit a jump shot. Harden would make you respect his jump shot, and then Embiid can have a better time inside. He can stay inside more. Because I do believe that Embiid take too many jump shots. I think you need to go in the post more. Like I said, that's a part of the game it's rare now. So if you can dominate in the post, you open up everything else. Hey Gary, thanks for coming and joining in, man. But that Houston situation is I wonder how that's going to unfold. I have no idea. A lot of people say Westbrook to New York, but the Knicks don't have no collateral. Like, what the Knicks going to give up if they do get Westbrook? What they going to give up? Is they going to give up more future draft picks? Really don't have nobody there that Houston would really want. And then Westbrook got a bad contract, so that's another issue. But people, well, this is true. I ain't gonna say people, but people saying that, Knicks desperate. They need, Westbrook is still a superstar, so he can have Knicks fans, because a lot of Knicks fans, at least publicly, is like, I ain't messing with the Knicks. Like, I'm done with the Knicks. But if they get Westbrook, that's going to bring some people back. So, and I think if they do, let's just say the Knicks do get Westbrook somehow, a lot of people say they're a playoff team. I think so. Still in the East, the top part of the East is strong. The bottom is still sort of got some question marks. Like Washington, that was a team that was disappointing. Last year, well, they had issues. John Wall didn't play all year, but he's supposed to be back and healthy. Bradley Beal has been a trade. He's been trade bait. Now they talk about he might go to the Lakers. Well, there's a rumor out there. If the Lakers can pull that off, had Bradley Beal. They said maybe give up Kuzma. I think I heard that this week. Like give up Kyle Kuzma for Beal. I would have to do it. If I was the Lakers, I would have to do it. I like Kyle Kuzma, but Bradley Beal can shoot the lights out, and that's what the Lakers need. They need more shooting. LeBron can do his thing. AD can be in the post a little bit more. Like I said, they say maybe give up Kuzma and maybe a couple of Danny Green. I think that's what it was. And Danny Green been consistent offensively for years. For the last couple of years, he ain't been hitting his threes like he normally do. But if the Lakers can pull that off, man, that'd be something there. But that's all rumors for now. But I don't know how this Rocket situation going to work out. I don't know. They might just tell them both of them, y'all just stay here for this year. The owner, he's more than one of those owners that Fertitta, I think he's one of those owners that, man, he's a no nonsense, type of owner. He want to win. So I think I don't know if he think he'll just give up Harden or Westbrook without really getting something for him. So it's going to be hard to move either of those guys. Definitely Westbrook, because it's not a big market for him anyway, because the way he plays, he's getting older. He covered off a couple of injuries and himself. So it's not a big market for Westbrook. Harden, you might can get a market for him for sure. But like I said, it's got to match the contracts and all that stuff. So, but it's just an interesting situation for the Rockets. But if they still come back with they say with the team they got now, they'll still be a playoff team in the West. Because Harden is that great. And Westbrook can have great moments as well. So they wind up coming back. I think both of them players, they like to play basketball. I don't think they're going to carry it out on the court or anything like that, or have certain shit. I don't think they're going to let it affect their play. I think they still will play hard. They don't cheat the game. There's two players that don't cheat the game at all. They like playing every night. So if Houston want to hold steady and not trade them, I think they still give them something. They're not going to go out there and just not play. So we'll see how that goes. That's going to develop, probably the next week or so, or could drag out into the season. So just something to keep an eye out for. So that's all my NBA news and stuff for this week. Let's move on to the NFL. Week 10, it starts tomorrow. Let's talk about the Thursday night game. Somewhat, it wasn't a surprising result. The Colts have certain pieces. The offensive line is good. The defense is young and good as well. They got a good team. A lot of days been on Philly. Everybody, they said, well, it depends on Phillip Rivers, which is true. If Phillip Rivers played well, which he did Thursday night, that's what you get those results. They had the block punt as well, so you got to factor that in. But Tennessee, I give them a lot of respect because they made it to the AFC Championship game last year. Ryan Tannehill has played well. He made a somewhat of a believer out of me. I believe more in him than I did before. But Derrick Henry, he had a nice game, but they're not a team like say once they get down, they're not a good team. Even though Tannehill plays well, he's not somebody that can just throw you right back into a game. The Titans, maybe they can rebound from this, but it was a huge win for the Colts on Thursday night. They now tied in the division. Well, actually have the lead if you go by tiebreakers because they, won. But they play again in 2 weeks. I believe the Colts have a bye. I think somebody has a bye. I could be wrong. I think one of the teams has a bye, or maybe they both play somebody else next week and then they play each other again. I have to check that. I know COVID moved some. Yeah, I think COVID moved the Titans. I think they had a bye first, and now I think they do play next week. I think that's what it is. So we'll see. But let's go ahead and get to picks. That's why I'm looking at my phone. I'm gonna pull up the schedule. I got big 5 games a week. What I normally do is I write down the 5 games I think it's most important in this week, and I pick those games, but I give more detail about it. The other games I probably just give the pick and sort of move on. So let me pull up that right now. Thank everybody for joining me. I got 3 people in here right now, so thank you, Gary. I appreciate that. Oh dang, I'm full of. I forgot college football is on. Dang, wow, okay. All right. Let's see. Hey, Michigan get blown out 28-0 by Wisconsin. Man, Michigan. That's. Man, I like Jim Harbaugh, but I don't know. It's the heat gonna start turning up on him. Probably tomorrow, or probably right after this game is over. All right, NFL schedule for this week, week 10. Okay. All right, yeah. So like I said, I got my big 5 games here. Like I said, I pick the games one by one, and then the games I have written down on my notebook here, I get more in detail about. Actually, the first game that's on here is the one I wrote down as an important game. The Houston Texans at the Cleveland Browns. Browns at 5-3. Houston at 2-6. Only why I think I put this game down because the Browns. I think this is almost a must-win game for the Browns. Talk about drama. Every time they lose a game or two, all the drama comes out about basically about Baker Mayfield now because Odell Beckham is out for the season, of course. They get Nick Chubb back this week. I think that's official. They activated him today. So, but all the Browns have to do, like I said, I've been saying it all year, run the football. Like, run the football, play action. Like, it's simple. When y'all run the football well, y'all win. Now that y'all got Nick Chubb back, I say, give it heavy, he's just coming back, so you still got Kareem Hunt as well. Split the carries, run the football, and then let Baker pick and choose again, get him on the move, play that way, and I think they can beat Houston. The Texans, they're a mess. They've been firing people here and there, all since they got rid of O'Brien, the coach. They've been firing people. I think they fired one of their head official, I know she was a woman, so that's why it was sort of controversial, but they just a mess. JJ Watt talk about he ain't trying to rebuild, so basically he probably went out by next year. So that'll be interesting how that turns out. But but he's been disappointed. Like, I'm just going to go ahead and say that he haven't played well. He's been hurt the last 3 or 4 years himself. He hasn't produced. In my opinion, he's he's a 3-time defensive player of the year. Nothing against JJ Watt. I still like him. I still have him on my team. But he hasn't played to his potential in the last few years, and he's not even on the field. So I think if they got more production from him, because the defense has been terrible. Deshaun Watson pretty much been carrying the team. But they definitely love him, and that's the X factor here. He could go in there and win a game by himself. So Cleveland got to be careful. Myles Garrett having a defensive player of the year. So maybe he steps up tomorrow. But I am going to go with the Browns, though. They at home. I think, like I said, if they serious about making the playoffs, I think this is a game they have to win. I think their schedule get somewhat easier. So even if they lose this game, it's not all over for them. But I just think for you to really be a serious contender or a playoff team, I think this is a game you got to win. So I'm going to go with the Browns here in that game. The Washington football team and the Detroit Lions. Washington is 2-6. Detroit is 3-5. Both of these teams, you just don't know what you're going to get this week for these teams. Detroit, Matthew Stafford, I think he had some COVID issues again. I think it was a false positive again for him. So how much did he practice this week? Now Washington, what they do bring to the table is pass rush. They got all those first round picks on the defensive line, so they can make things bad for you there. But after that, I think Kyle Allen is hurt now, so they went back to Alex Smith. So I'm happy about that. That's a good story. Alex Smith, of course, former #1 pick, had a decent career with the Niners. Went to Kansas City for a few years. Then Mahomes came, and he went to Washington. Now had that gruesome leg injury almost 2 years ago. He gets his first start, I think. So we'll see how that works out. But I would go with Detroit here. They're at home, and I think the Lions. Like I said, both of these teams are up and down. You don't know what you're gonna get, but I'm gonna go with the Lions at home. I think Washington just won't. Even though Alex Smith, he did play last week, but still don't look as sharp. And then Washington don't have a lot of talent on the outside to help them out. So I'm gonna go with the Lions here to win. Lions 3-point favorite. I think it'll be about that close, about 3 points. Jaguars at Packers. Jaguars 1-7. Packers at 6-2. Packers, they devastated loss to Tampa. Since then, they have played well. Aaron Rodgers has bounced back somewhat well. I think they lost to Minnesota after that, right? I think they did, but Devontae Adams has been unbelievable for him. Aaron Jones been in and out, so hopefully he's back healthy now. Jags, everybody was on the Jags after week 1. They won that first game, and they lost 7 straight. Minshew is out, so I think the Jaguars pretty much, they got rid of a lot of their talent. I think they really somewhat tanking unofficially. I think Green Bay win this game easily. 13.5 points favorite. They might cover that, maybe even more. So I'm gonna go with Green Bay there. Philadelphia Eagles at the New York Giants. The Eagles 3-4-1. The Giants 2-7. This is a game that's hard to predict as well because the whole NFC East has been terrible. But the Giants, to me, if I had to pick one of the teams who've been playing, but the Giants been playing better than the Eagles to me the last few weeks overall. Even though they ain't pulled out a lot of wins with it. Eagles, they like to say, there's been injuries with them. Offensive line is decimated, receiver core is decimated, running backs decimated. Carson Wentz been hanging in there, getting criticized, which I think is somewhat warranted, even though all the injuries around him. He could be playing better, but I just will go with the Eagles here. I think they're just a little bit better, just slightly better than the Giants, even though the Giants been playing pretty well. And they're at home here. But Philly 4-point favorite. I don't agree with that point spread. I think that should be a little closer. You being on the road and being 4 points. No, I don't agree with that. I think this will come down to the wire. But I'm gonna go with the Eagles here to pretty much somewhat take control of the NFC East, because that would be a huge win for them despite both of these teams' records. You still get a playoff spot for winning your division. So we'll see what is Dallas off this week. I think Dallas is off this week. Yeah. So and like I said, I think the Redskins will lose this week. Well, the Washington football team, excuse me. So I think if the Eagles win this game, they have somewhat of a hold on the NFC East. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Carolina Panthers. This is a bounce back game for Brady and the Buccaneers. They got embarrassed last Thursday night to the Saints. Saints, to me, looking like a Super Bowl team. Tampa at 6-3, Panthers at 3-6. Now Panthers don't have McCaffrey again this week. I don't think it's official yet, but they basically saying he's not going to play. But Tampa don't get no pass rush, and Carolina, they don't get no pass rush. So what's been the weakness for Brady? And basically all 3 of these losses. The 2 losses to the Saints, they got at him, they hit him. The loss to the Bears, they was able to get some pressure on them. So Panthers, I think I see the stat, they last in the league of sacks and quarterback hits. So Brady have a clean pocket, he's gonna be able to torch them. I think Carolina, like I said, they another team that you can see the potential there. Teddy Bridgewater, another comeback story for him. He's been playing overall pretty well this year, but the Panthers defense also hasn't played well. So I think Tampa take advantage of that. I think they go in there and they win. They 6.5 favorite. I say that's pretty much about right. Broncos at the Raiders. Las Vegas Raiders and the Denver Broncos. Broncos 3-5. Raiders 5-3. Raiders 5-3, but like I said, they played pretty well the last few weeks. Denver as well. Denver shows somewhat promise. Drew Lock has shown some promise as well. Despite Denver having a lot of injuries as well. Melvin Gordon quietly having a decent year. No Von Miller, but Nick Chubb has played well for Denver. So I think this would be a pretty competitive game. And it's, the division games, to me, you just can't be surprised by whatever happens. But I think the Raiders going to get a somewhat of a statement win here. I think they win at home over Denver and keep their playoff hopes. Well, strong playoff hopes alive, I should say. Chargers, Dolphins. This is an interesting game because of the two young quarterbacks, Justin Herbert for the Chargers and Tua Tagovailoa for the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins defense has played very, very well, but Herbert, he's played some good defenses and still played well. So this is a game, but Chargers haven't been able to close out games. The game last week was a heartbreaking loss. I think the tight end dropped it in the end zone that could have beat the Raiders on a walk-off, but he dropped the ball and that was another loss. Anthony Lynn, hot seat, coach for the Chargers, he's on the hot seat. People say he should be fired or whatever. I think he should have to give him some more time, at least throughout this year. I think they should have fired him in the middle of the season. But I'm going to go with the Dolphins here because, I think they can see that playoff push here. And I think, you're a rookie, you're skeptical of having a bad game. Tua hasn't played lights out. He's played pretty well, but not lights out. Herbert has played pretty well. I think he might make a few mistakes that he didn't make so far this year. Maybe Miami be able to exploit that with their defense. I think that'll be the factor. I think Miami wins. They only 1.5 point favorite, by the way, as well, which shows how good the Chargers are despite their record. This game made my Big Five. Now we're about to get to a lot of my Big Five games, a lot of my late games. Bills at Cardinals. Buffalo Bills at the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals at 5-3. Bills at 7-2. Bills, they had a little bump in the road, but now it seems like they rolling. Josh Allen seems like he got his magic back. Kyler Murray for the Arizona Cardinals. He's having a good year so far. Cardinals 3-point favorites. So basically, if you go by Vegas, but they tell you that's basically an even game. And this game is kind of hard for me to pick, but I'm leaning Bills just because I think their defense is a little bit better, and I honestly think they're a little bit deeper with the weapons. Even though DeAndre Hopkins is unbelievable, which is a thing. Houston, I don't know why Houston made that trade. Like, I still don't, after all this time. Why did the Texans trade him? And now the coach not even there. Well, he was the GM as well, so I know they're kicking themselves for that. But he's been unbelievable. He leads the league in catches. But Buffalo, I just think they played a little bit better. The Cardinals been up and down. I think it's some games they could have won that they lost. So I think the Bills are a little bit more steadier, and I think it will prove here. And I think they win a close one. I think it will come down to the wire. I think the Bills will win. And pretty much wrap up the if Miami able to win that game, they still got a chance. But I think, the Jets are nowhere to be found in the AFC East. But I think if they win this game, they will go a long way for them to win the division as well. So I go with the Bills here in a close one. Another game that made my Big Five, another late game, Seahawks at Rams. Rams at 5-3, Seahawks at 6-2. Russell Wilson had a little bump in the road. Speaking of the Bills did beat the Seahawks last week. Russell Wilson with the turnovers. But basically, if he don't turn the ball over, they win. And they other loss to the Cardinals, by the way. He turned the ball over a lot in that game. But I think that defense has to get better. Like, that's their Achilles heel for sure. The Seattle defense. I think they set records for passing yards, against. So that's not good. The Rams, like I said, they 5-3, give them credit for it, but the 5 wins, I think it's 4 of them against the NFC East, which I just found out about that the other day. I heard somebody say like, wow, well, that's basically not playing nobody, you know. So this is a huge game for the Rams. If they win this game, then you maybe start taking them seriously. So I still don't take them seriously. I don't believe in Jared Goff. I just don't. Especially after the Super Bowl loss to the Patriots and the date that came out after that. Ever since then, I haven't been really that high on Jared Goff. We'll see what McVay do, but they got a bad. But see, the Seahawks defense so bad, he probably will be able to exploit it a little bit. Sean McVay probably be able to exploit it a little bit. So, Aaron Donald definitely gotta watch him tomorrow. Seattle, he could rack the game, make Russell have a couple of turnovers. So, contain him and just let Russell do his thing. I think Seattle will win though. But the Rams are actually favored in this game, 2.5 points. So, but I will go with Seattle though. They'll win this game. Into the take back control of the NFC West. Another Big 5 game here. The San Francisco 49ers was also in the West. And then NFC against the New Orleans Saints was the Saints. That impressive win against the Buccaneers. So a lot of people think this might be a little down game. You know, all that emotion they put into that game. Maybe they'll cover this game a little lackadaisical. And they 9.5 point favorites as well. 49ers though, they come in beat up. No Jimmy Garoppolo again. No George Kittle. So offense, that's terrible. We know they lost Bosa for the year. So Niners come in limping, but 4-5. Still been playing pretty hard. Kyle Shanahan has kept them on track. But I just think the Saints are too talented. I think they'll dominate this game. 9.5 points, it sounds right. The only why it sounds right because of the injuries the Niners have. So I'm going to go with the Saints here. I think they win. Continue to roll. Niners, because of how deep the NFC West is, this would be a huge loss for them. But you gotta give them credit to how hard they played anyway. Played well. Last week against Dallas, they didn't look good into the second half. The Tennessee game, going back before the Baltimore game, the Tennessee game was shaky. You know, they got out of there with an overtime win. So I just think the Bengals. It's just more of a gut feeling. I just think they're gonna win this game somehow. Pittsburgh is 7.5 point favorites though. They 8-0. So I know people probably say you crazy, you know, but I'm gonna go with the Bengals. I think this is the time the Steelers go down. I think being in the division game as well. I think the Steelers sort of, you know, I don't know. They just haven't looked as sharp to me. They just haven't looked sharp. And I think it's going to catch up to them. This will be the game to catch up to them. But then after this game, they'll wake up and probably stop playing better the rest of the year. But, you know, Big Ben, he came through last week in the second half. I thought, you know, I was scared for him. His knee got hurt right before the half. He came right back out and pretty much torched Dallas, you know, the rest of that game. Started getting Claypool involved. Juice Smith-Schuster had some catches. James Conner came alive. So, but I'm gonna pick the upset here. I got the Bengals beat the Steelers this week. I just think, just got a feeling about it. Like I can't, like if I go by, if you look at it on the football sense, I can't say, oh well, the Bengals gotta do this better, the Bengals do that better. The Bengals defense is bad, so maybe Pittsburgh offense doesn't wake back up again. This could be a blowout, and I wouldn't be surprised by that either. Pittsburgh could blow them up, but I think the Bengals, I just got a feeling the Bengals going to beat them. So, my big upset is probably the biggest upset I picked all year. I'm going to go with the Bengals here. And I'll probably be rooting for them now that I put it out there in public that I picked the Bengals to win this game. Alright, last game for Sunday. Also my Big 5, my final Big 5. The Baltimore Ravens at the New England Patriots. Patriots a must win, pretty much 3-5. Try to keep up in the AFC. The division might be already lost as they down 4 games to Buffalo now. And I already lost to them this year, so the division probably out of the mix. Probably just gotta try to get a wild card. Ravens, there's been some doubters about them. They've been shaky. They beat the Colts, but they looked sort of shaky in the first half. And really before that game, losing to Pittsburgh with all the turnovers, Lamar Jackson coming out saying teams know what we doing and all this other stuff. So it's a little drama going on right now with the Ravens. Me being a Ravens fan, I'm a little worried about it. So what, they was my Super Bowl pick as well. I just think Lamar has to play better. He has to throw the ball better. But I'm gonna say this, and I say this all the time as well. Give the ball to Gus Edwards more. Like I said, run the football. Like when the running the football works, just stick with it, man. Like you don't have to try to be cute. Give the ball to Edwards more. Mark Ingram, he's hurt more than we thought. So I don't know if he's playing it this week or not. But the rookie J.K. Dobbins, he looked pretty good as well. Run the football, then let Lamar do his thing. I think they need to get Marquise Brown more involved. We'll see if Brian have a bigger role this week. They signed him off the practice squad. Well, promoted him off the practice squad last week. We'll see if that has a factor. But the Patriots, Cam, he just to get on the Patriots. He don't have nobody. He don't have no help. He got to do everything by himself. So the defense don't hold the game down for him. It's going to be hard for Cam. So I think that would matter because the Ravens defense is pretty talented. So I think Calais Campbell is out this week, I believe. And also some Ravens had some COVID issues as well. So, but I just think they just simply better than the Patriots. I think they go in there and they impose their will. 7 points, Ravens favorite. I think that's fair. So, but I think they win probably by about that much. Cam is capable of pulling a game, unbelievable game out of his hat. But I just don't see he don't have the talent around him to do it. He would have to be more of a runner, and that'll put him in harm's way. And I don't think they really want to do that. So, I'm gonna go with the Ravens. I think they win. And keep pace with the Steelers. If my prediction is right, they'll get right back into trying to win that division. So it's just one game left, the Monday night game. Minnesota Vikings at the Chicago Bears. This game is interesting as well. The Bears, lately, since that Tampa win, they haven't looked that well. But Minnesota, they rising from the ashes a little bit. Been playing pretty well. Kirk Cousins been playing better, but Dalvin Cook, give it to him, and they win. So I think he had 200 yards for scrimmage in 2 straight games. I think he had 4 touchdowns last week. So monster love if you're a fantasy owner and you got him, you should have won going away last week. And I think they're gonna win this game. But the Bears, to me, offensively just look out of sync. Nick Foles looks out of sync. The defense might keep this a close game, but I think the Vikings will pull it through at the end. I think Dalvin Cook will wear that defense down, and Kirk Cousins hopefully he don't throw the game away, because that's possible. But if he doesn't do that, and Cook have it don't have to be 200 yards, but if you have a steady game, I think Minnesota will go up there and they win. The Bears just haven't looked that good lately. So that's my picks for Week 10. Week 10, interesting, like I said, very interesting this week. A lot of big games that can have a long way going into the playoffs. So I'm just about done here tonight. Thank everybody that joined me. Thank you, Gary, for joining me. Thank you for commenting. Only thing else I would have touched on, like I said, I wrote my notes thinking I was going to do my record it and put it on the channel. So like I said, right now it's what Eastern time is 9:55. I was going to touch on college football, all the cancellations with the SEC and all that. I'm right here on ESPN.com right now, so I'm looking at some scores, even though I just lost my signal, so that sucks. But I follow the Florida Gators. I was a Florida Gators fan growing up. And they was winning big in their game, but I say Michigan losing huge to Wisconsin. And like I said, tomorrow morning or tomorrow Monday morning for sure, if they don't come back and do anything, that's going to be terrible for the Wolverines, man. People going to start. I think they will be. Well, they already been calling for Jim Harbaugh to either step down or leave Michigan, but it's going to get louder. um, for that. So that's what I see going on with that, with college football. I think Alabama's still the best team in college football. I think their game got canceled. They were supposed to play LSU. That game got canceled because of COVID. But I think they're the best team. Clemson, when they get Trevor Lawrence back, they probably be right back in the mix. Did Notre Dame, I guess I gotta check Notre Dame. They was losing earlier to Boston College. I don't know if they came back and won that game or not. So I gotta check that and see. But college football, then with all these cancellations, the Pac-12 and the Big Ten start late. So how would the college football playoff go? Will they make up a rule you had to play certain games and all that stuff? So it's a lot to unpack there. But hopefully, I agree with people saying it's a joy when you got games. If you don't get no games, because it's a joy for that, because they could shut the whole thing down. So that's what I've been doing. I just been trying to enjoy the sports that I do have on TV. NFL been doing pretty well lately. The last few weeks, they haven't had to cancel any games or move any games. So we've been lucky about that. Now the Masters, I want to touch on the Masters. Now I'm not a huge golf fan. Honestly, to be honest, I'm sort of a casual fan. I only pay attention when Tiger Woods doing well, and he was doing well. So let me see the leaderboard here. I know, like I said, I follow it enough that I know some of the guys, like some of the younger guys, like Dustin Johnson, who played very well today. He's the leader, actually. All these other names, I don't know. Cameron Smith, never heard of him. He's from Australia. Abraham Answer, at 12 under. Sunji M from Japan. And Dale for Treaty. So a lot of Dustin Johnson has got a 4-stroke lead right now at 16 under. So let me see Tiger, what he's doing. I know he was doing well. He was 4 shots off the lead before today started. So I'm going to try to research that right now. I know what I should have did. I should have go to... I think I could go, hit this. Yeah, here we go. This will probably make me have it now. I pushed one of the article buttons about Dustin Johnson. Okay, yeah, this is good right here. So Tiger 5 under, so yeah, he's pretty much, it would take a miracle for him to win. But he's tied for 20th, He at 5 under, but Johnson at 16, so that's 11 strokes. So I don't see that happening. But I wouldn't be shocked if he get into the top 10 or something. Oh, Bruce Koepka, he's at 8 under. That's somebody that I know. But like I said before, when I first started today, earlier when I started, it's just weird for the Masters to be at this particular time of the year, just like horse racing with the Triple Crown. I'm from Baltimore, so they come here for Preakness, and it being in October, that was just the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest feeling in the world, even though it wasn't no crowd, but still, Preakness around here is nothing. I live right down the street from Preakness, right from Park Heights Avenue, where the Preakness, where it is. And it's usually nuts, because of COVID, of course, was no crowd, but still, it being in October was weird. But the Masters being in November is kind of weird. But I was trying to follow it because Tiger was doing good. He was only down 4 strokes. Now he's down 11 strokes. So I don't see Dustin Johnson. I guess Dustin Johnson probably gonna pull it out. He's too talented. You don't think he's gonna choke, but he got a nice lead, 4 strokes. So we'll see how tomorrow goes. I'll be looking at that tomorrow with the football. So. As far as with the channel, like I said, I usually don't go live. I felt good though. I might start doing this more, going live with it, because I got, I don't have to worry about the time. I'm already over an hour, so I would have talk too much over the time. So that's why I used to like going live back then. This is the first live video I did in at least probably a year and a half. I think my last live video was Call of Duty Black Ops 4. I think I did that live. I used to do that live like once or twice a week. I used to go live twice a week. But now my situation with my job and with other things, I had to shut the channel down a couple of times. Then the internet sometimes jump in and out, so I don't go live at all often. But it felt good. I feel good about going live, and like I said, I thank everybody that's here tonight. Hopefully y'all sports fans at least, but I do video game playthroughs as well. So the main game I've been doing is Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time, and that's anybody that's played that game is brutal, man. Difficulty wise, like I can't, like it's like wow, like it's gonna be hard for me to I played pretty much every Crash Bandicoot game since 95, 96, whatever the first one was. And they was challenging as well, but as far as like this game is on another level, man. Like it's brutal. Like and you can check out I got a playlist of that up right now, but probably won't fast forward through the whole video because I take so long to get 100% of the game. Get all the boxes to get gems, get the gems and the relics and all that stuff. That's going to be, I don't know if I'm ever going to do it, man. I'm going to try, but that's going to be tough. I know that. I'm not even looking forward to that. That's going to be stressful, man. But anyway, that's a game that I'm doing now. Upcoming games I'm thinking about getting is the Spider-Man, the Miles Morales. That's my avatar up there right now. You could go. I know other people have done it so far because the game came out last week. So you probably can see some videos of it already. But I'm gonna go get it myself and play it. I like Spider-Man games. Spider-Man games is just fun, you know. It's just fun swinging around and sort of open world. Of course, Miles Morales. If you played the Spider-Man on the PS4, 2 years ago, he was the young kid that Peter Parker was sort of grooming. He got spider powers and stuff. So that's the backstory with that. But I'm gonna play that. I love Spider-Man games. So and it's a little bit cheaper. It's only $50. So it's not a full game. See, I already got the other Spider-Man. So I don't need to buy the Ultimate Edition. That's like $80. So I can get that for $50. And then Cyberpunk 2077. I'm so interested in that game. So I want to get that next. I think that they pushed that back. It was supposed to come out this month, but they pushed it to December 10th. So that's actually good for me because I could save the money and get it. I could try to get that. But they two games you could definitely come here on the channel and watch. I do retro games. I got a lot of retro content up. So y'all, whoever's here, if y'all like video games and like content on that, especially retro games, I got a lot of retro content here. Mega Man, Sonic the Hedgehog, like those type of games. I got that all through the channel as well. So like I said, I thank you guys tonight for joining me tonight. Like I said, this is a special. I usually don't go live, especially with my sports blogs. I don't, but I didn't have to worry about the uploading and everything else. I thought as well. Actually, my brother just texted me and said he's not getting on the game, and I usually get on. This is usually my time to get on Call of Duty. Cold War. Well, my brother don't like it. I think it's okay, but he don't like it because he says too much. It's like playing an old game, you know, because of maybe because they went back to the 80s. Maybe that's what it is, but he don't like it, so I'm not. It's like I could buy it still for myself, but I usually run with him, so it's like it won't feel the same. So I'm not going to get it unless he gets it or unless he changes his mind. But that's a hot game. A lot of people probably playing right now as well as Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Now we still be playing Modern Warfare, so I guess that's what I'm still gonna be playing for a while. So now I got videos of that up too. I like free for all. I'm a free for all guy, so I play free for all. That's the mode that I play most of all. Basically, you on your own, and I just like to just go all out and shoot anybody that I see, you know. So that's why I like free for all. Like I play deathmatch with my brother, but normally if I'm playing by myself, I'm playing free for all. So like I said, that's just a few things, you know, a few little review of my channel. Like I said, hopefully you check it out when I log off here, which is about to be very soon. This where I'm at now, this is the playroom, like it's a PlayStation 4 app, where I record my videos in. So, alright Gary, take care buddy, thank you for coming here tonight. But I think, well, I got my TV down so I can't hear, but there's some goofy music playing in the background. There's no way I could cut that crap off. But it's like, if you had a PS4, the playroom is like those little robots you play with. Usually be a whole bunch of robots over here. You play where you can motion up with your hand and all that crap. But this is the only way I can record. I used to record videos with my phone, but honestly, because of YouTube, I couldn't do that no more. And I think it's like you gotta have a certain amount of subscribers to do a certain amount of things. So that sort of capped me from doing certain things. I used to just record on my phone, and then my phone also. After a while, you know, you only can record for like 15 minutes. You know, and I don't know about my new phone. It might be unlimited as long as I got the space, but I usually can't record a lot. So I was like, this would be a good way of recording my blog. So I started doing this about 2-3 years ago, and this was my method of recording the blog. So like I said, normally I record it first, edit it a little bit, and then put it, you know, upload it. Upload could take about an hour or so. But since I was doing it at night, which I normally don't do, I was like, well, I could go live, and then once I log off, it'd be already up on the channel. I just have to go back and touch up a few things here and there, and that's it. So that's why I decided to do that tonight. But thank you for all my subscribers. Thank you to all the people that support me. Like I said, I don't like to talk about personal things, but like I said, it's been a rough week, it's been a rough month, it's been a rough year for everybody, I know that. But sometimes it's, you know, it's hard to do these, you know. But I wanted to get on here tonight because I was so excited about the football games tomorrow. Honestly, I was excited about my upset pick. I wanted to put that out there on blast, my Bengals pick, which I think probably barely nobody's picked. But if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But if I'm right, I look like a genius, I guess, huh? So we'll see tomorrow. So enjoy the football tomorrow. Stay safe. Corona's still out here, so stay safe. Every day, everywhere. Every day is spiking everywhere. Spiking here in my state, in Maryland. So stay safe on that. Take care of each other. Thank you, everybody. I'm surprised my man Derek ain't come on here. A former coworker of mine, a good friend of mine. He usually comes on when I go live all the time. Even though I say I go live in a long time, but he usually come on here and say something and joke around. He's a jokester, so surprised he ain't come on. But thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. Thank you for an hour and 15 minutes, kind of longer than I wanted to be. But thank you so much. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all weekend. Enjoy the football tomorrow. Enjoy your sports. Stay safe. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching tonight. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Gary, again. And everybody else that came in tonight. And I'll see you guys soon. I'll see you guys Thursday. I'll be back Thursday for us the blog. We got Cardinals Seahawks, which will be a big game next week on Thursday night. So I'll be back then. Might see some crash videos and other videos between then. Troy West said, thank you so much. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Thank you so much for joining me tonight.